There are horror movies that come and go, and there are horror movies that become cult classics. One film that absolutely falls into that category is Drag Me to Hell. Released in 2009 and directed by one of the horror legends, Sam Raimi, the film quickly became one of the most unique horror movies of the late 2000s. It mixed supernatural horror, dark comedy, and brutal curse mythology in a way that only Raimi could deliver. But here's the crazy thing. Despite its popularity and unforgettable ending, Drag Me to Hell never got a sequel, and honestly, it probably should have. The film follows Christine Brown, a loan officer who denies an extension to an elderly woman. But that decision leads to something far worse than losing a promotion. She becomes cursed by the terrifying Lamia, a demon that torments its victims for 3 days before dragging their souls straight to hell. The concept alone made the film feel like a modern horror fairy tale, and audiences loved it. The movie made nearly $90 million worldwide on a modest budget and became one of the most talked about horror films of its time. One of the most brutal endings in horror history. If you've seen the movie, then you know exactly why fans still talk about it today. Christine believes she's broken the curse and she thinks she's safe. But in the final moments of the movie, the truth is revealed, and she is violently pulled into hell right in front of her boyfriend. It's one of the darkest and most shocking endings in horror history. And endings like that usually set up a sequel, but for some reason, it never happened. The idea that a demon like Lamia can torment its victims for days before claiming their soul opens the door for endless stories. A sequel could explore questions like, who else has been cursed? Is there a way to stop the demon? Or what happens to its soul after it gets dragged to hell? The movie only scratches the surface of this terrifying supernatural concept. A sequel could only expand the lore in ways that make the universe even darker. And let's get Sam Raimi to come back. Another reason fans want a sequel is because Sam Raimi absolutely nailed the tone of the original. The movie blends creepy horror, ridiculous dark humor, and chaotic supernatural energy. The combination is something Raimi has mastered since his early days of directing The Evil Dead. And if he ever returned to direct a sequel, it could easily become one of the most exciting horror releases in years, especially now that horror audiences are hungry for an original supernatural story again. When it was first released, it was appreciated by its critics and horror fans, but over the years, it has developed a strong cult following. Many fans now consider it one of the best horror films of the 2000s, and when a horror movie reaches that level of cult status, the demand for a sequel usually follows. If Drag Me to Hell ever got a sequel, there are several directions the story could go. One possibility exploring Christine's fate. Did she escape from hell? If she did, is there any repercussions of her escaping from hell? Another option would be following a new victim cursed by the demon, expanding the mythology while connecting back to the original story. Or imagine if the sequel revealed that someone is actively summoning the demon to punish people, turning the curse into something even more sinister. The possibilities are endless. At the end of the day, Drag Me to Hell is that kind of horror movie that sticks with you. The creepy curse, the chaotic Raimi horror style, and the unforgettable ending. It feels like a story that was truly made in hell. So the real question is, should Drag Me to Hell get a sequel? Or is the terrifying ending exactly what worked so well for the movie? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm your Hellmaster Dede, and I'll see you Hellcats and Hounds in the next one. Peace.